Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this East Devon's District Council's Cabinet meeting for the 4th of March 2026. I'm your chair, Councillor Paul Arnott. Welcome to anybody watching on live streaming. And we'll start with a roll call of Cabinet Committee members here present with Amanda, please, and also declare your interests, if any.
Thank you, Chair. Starting with yourself, Councillor Arnott.
Present, thank you, no interests.
Councillor Loudon.
Present, Amanda, and no interest, thank you.
Councillor Hawkins.
Present and no interest, thank you.
Councillor Hayward.
Present, no interest, thank you.
Councillor Hookway.
Present and no interests I'm aware of at present, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Jackson.
Present, nothing from me.
Councillor Jeffreys.
Present and no interests.
Councillor Young.
Present, no interests.
Present, nothing to declare, thank you.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Amanda.
Are there any other councillors in the room that have a declaration? Councillor Barlow.
Thank you. Sorry, item number the Sidmouth and East Beach Coastal Defence Scheme. Sidmouth Town Council, I'm a member, and we are funders for that, or part funders for that project.
In which case, Amanda, I need to add my name to what Councillor Barlow's just said to you. Item 10, non-effects. Oh, I have to leave the room as well, right. Yes, of course. I remember.
You both go. Yes, a reminder of professionalism. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, agenda item 1, the minutes of the previous meeting. If anyone has a comment on the sets of the minutes from the 4th of February this year, please do so by raising your hand. If nobody does, I shall take this as an indication that you all agree them. Thank you very much. Those are therefore agreed, and I will very quickly sign them. What's that? 4, 3, 26. Thank you, John. Pass those to your right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Agenda item 2, apologies. We have apologies from Councillor Dan Ledger from Cabinet. Assistant Portfolio Holder Paula Fernley has also offered apologies. Amanda, are we aware of any other apologies that have been given this evening? No? Anybody else? No? Okay, thank you very much. Agenda item 3, declarations of interest. We've already done those. Agenda item 4, public speaking. We've got a young talent called Councillor Jeff Young who wishes to go over there to speak to us as a member of the public.
Good evening. As ward councillor, I'm invited to respond to every planning application in my ward. Basically, do I support it or not by using my local knowledge? Therefore, I am able to come in and share my view on the sewage issues using the limited knowledge I have. For single houses and extensions, I do not generally comment on sewage issues, although I do understand the cumulative effects of loads of single dwellings over a long period. So my general rule to development for less than 5 dwellings, I do not consider the sewage infrastructure factor, but from 4, 5 and above, I do. Now my ward includes the village of Limston, which is directly connected to the Exmouth sewage infrastructure, and we all know the problems at Exmouth. The other week, a planning application for 3 houses at Limston went through planning, and as it meant an extra 2 houses, one already approved, I did not mention a Grampian order. However, the committee did, because of their knowledge with the Exmouth network. However, following the meeting, an email was received by planning from South West Water confirming they have no concerns about the capability of these connections as they have been viewing the debate online. I have now been asked by the planning team not to insist on a Grampian order because of South West assessment. The other, didn't print that bit. So my dilemma is that South West Water CSO reports for January said there were, and I've got a print out here, 912 from one CSO. That's at one site at Limston. That's 39 hours, 37 minutes and 11 seconds pouring into the estuary. This is from a tank that is just 7 years old. The target for South West Water for the whole year is 20. The other CSOs in Exmouth were not good either, with manhole covers blowing and advice to bathers not to enter the water, and toilets backing up in and around the Imperial Road area. I'm told we need to consider 5 issues. Is the infrastructure overloaded? I would say yes.
Can you shorten as much as you can, please? Thank you.
Is there an environment impact? Yes. Is the sewage flooding? Yes, there is. Is there a lack of information? Definitely there is from South West Water. Biodiversity impact? Yes. Straight onto the estuary, special areas conservation. But I'll add another one, and that is the risk to health. So my question to my colleagues tonight is, do I ignore what I'm seeing or not? End of story.
Thank you, Public Speaker, Councillor Young. That has to be a rhetorical question, I'm afraid, because it's a non-agenda item. Unless anybody particularly wants to respond now, just for information of the pub, perhaps, if he wishes, Councillor Olive. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Suffice it to say, I'm not prepared with a detailed response, but I can promise I will take it away to the team and pick it up where we do have concerns, and South West Water is simply coming back to dismiss them. In my view, that isn't reaching the burden of proof which is on them, given the context of the water cycle study. So I will explore this with the team and we will come back.
Thank you very much. So just for the avoidance of doubt in future, there was precedent for other councillors using public speaking to bring something in, but in general, I wouldn't wish to entertain this because we should really stick next to agendas. But as somebody else did it the other day, it was only fair that Councillor Young did tonight. And thank you for his contribution. We now move on to item 5, matters of urgency. We have one late report at item 14 about local government reorganisation, the consultation response. Agenda item 6, confidential or exempt items, and we do have one at item 16 about supported accommodation. Agenda item 7, minutes of the overview committee of the 22nd of January, pages 9 to 11. the members wish to make any particular recommendations on this, or are we agreed to move forward? Good, thank you very much. We move forward without specific recommendations. The same question applies, please, to the minutes of the Strata Joint Executive Committee of the 28th of January 2026. Everybody happy with those? Thank you. Those move forward without specific recommendations. Agenda item 9, the minutes of the Recycling and Waste Partnership Board of the 28th of January 2026. Same question. Anybody wish to comment on those or raise anything? No, in which case those move forward without specific recommendation. Agenda item 10, we've got the Sidmouth and East Beach Coastal Defence Scheme. And that's because it's here because it's a contract above 100k, and I believe we're talking to our Director of Police, Andy, about this. Oh, just a moment, please.
Yeah, just to advise members that we had some members that declared interest at the beginning on this particular item, and certainly one member was going to leave the room. But having looked at the delegation, because it's purely agreeing to delegate authority to officers to award the contract, my advice is that actually there's no need to leave the room on this occasion. So, we will just obviously note that interest and remain in the room.
If you can just keep looking at that over the next few minutes, Mel, for another reading, we'd be, pretty. No. We're delighted that Councillor Barlows and Councillor Loudon can definitely stay. So thank you. So I was just teeing up Andy Wood there. So over to you, Andy, please, for the Sidmouth and East Beach Coastal Defence Scheme.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So this report relates to procurement through a competitive exercise of contractors to progress the scheme. Obviously, it's a critical scheme. And that work will be in 2 stages. Firstly, to complete design, modelling and consenting, and then secondly, to move to formal construction. The report seeks a delegation to myself in consultation with the portfolio holder for environment operations and also finance to complete and award the contract. And you can see there's a timeline in the report that sets out potentially through to completion of construction by August 2028. So a really key milestone, and just to record my thanks to the engineering team and Tom Buxton-Smith in particular, also Southwest Flood and Coastal members for their ongoing support. I know Councillor Young has been heavily involved, but also local stakeholders, which I think is reflected in the mix of funding, and you can see the breadth there of support more widely. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Andy, very much. Councillor Barlow, please.
Thank you, Chair. Sidmouth is obviously very pleased that this will be pushing forward, and totally agree that it should be taken down to 3 people making the decision, so it doesn't have to keep going back. However, we would like to just point out that the project board was set up on agreement of all the stakeholders, all the people that are actually funding it. A project board that was had at least 1, if not 2, representatives from Sidmouth on it. We would just like to have the assurance from the people that make decisions that they are still going to be making or keeping an eye on it to make the decisions so that we get the correct thing for Sidmouth. And then, obviously, once it's been agreed, we're very happy that you sign it off. Thank you.
Yeah, so kind of, if it's okay, Chair, I'll come back to Councillor Barlow on that in detail. Obviously, the key point behind the project board is to keep all stakeholders engaged. Absolutely, that's critical, and that reflects the funding mix as well. The slight hesitation from me is just around maintaining what I think is referred to as procurement hygiene as well, just making sure we are maintaining our proper processes as well. But I would absolutely expect full engagement with the project board.
Thank you, Andy. Councillor Young, please.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I agree with everything that Andy has said on this. Southwest Flood and Coastal, which is a joint venture with ourselves and Bournemouth Pool and Christchurch, or was it the other way around? They've done a fantastic amount of work on this, combining 2 authorities and getting a team of people to work this through has been really helpful. I'd also like to thank personally Tony Birch and Chris Lockyer, who are on the committee, who have given us a lot of experienced technical knowledge, because both are engineers, and without them we would be months behind on this. So it's thanks to a lot of local people, but especially Tony and Chris, who've done a fantastic amount of hard work on this. So I would like to make the recommendation as printed.
Okay, so that's Tony Birch and Chris Lockyer.
Yeah.
And you'd like that in the minutes, essentially. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amanda. In which case, anybody else wish to comment or just to second, perhaps? Councillor Olive, thank you very much. In which let's go to a vote on this. All those in favour, please. Thank you, and that's carried unanimously. Excellent, thank you, Andy. Agenda item 11, mutual exchange policy, pages 22 to 35, and we've got Emma Congerton, our Assistant Director of Housing Strategy and Operations, here to present.
Thank you, Chair. We've already got a mutual exchange policy in place. We are asking Cabinet to approve the updated version. It's just some minor changes of wording and some points of clarification that have been added into that, but happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. Anybody from outside of Cabinet wish to make any comments on this? If not inside Cabinet, we don't have the portfolio holder here this evening. Yeah, Councillor Hayward proposes. Anybody like to second? Councillor Loudon, thank you very much. Let's go to the vote. All those in favour, please. That's unanimously carried. Thank you very much. We now go to agenda item 12, which is back to Emma again, temporary accommodation procurement and allocation policy. Emma, please.
Thank you, Chair. Again, this is an updated version of our policy that sets out how we will procure and allocate our temporary accommodation for homeless households. Just again, some minor points of clarification and some wording changes, no significant changes there, and we're asking Cabinet to approve the policy.
Thank you, Emma. Anybody from outside Cabinet wish to come in at all? Members of Cabinet, anybody like to propose? Councillor Olive with Councillor Hayward seconding. Thank you very much. Can we go to the vote, please? All those in favour? Thank you very much. Good. Agenda item 13, budget monitoring report, month 10th of January, and that's John Symes, our finance manager, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes. Hopefully another relatively straightforward report for you this evening. So it's providing a summary of the Council's financial position as at the end of January. Report confirms there are no material issues to report to members, and there's no corrective actions being recommended. In terms of the detail in the report itself, general fund is materially on budget. There are service variances described within the report, but overall the forecast outturn position is £87,000 favourable. The housing revenue account is also reported as on budget. Again, within the detail within the report, you'll see that income receipts and expenditure are both in favourable positions. But having said that, both are within 1 to 2% of the agreed budget. This, along with the budgeted contribution to capital, is resulting in a total predicted contribution to capital of 1.3 million, and that's after the transfer of £250,000 to the HRA balance as agreed. In terms of capital, both the general fund and the HRA are under budget. So issues around staff recruitment, procurement lead-in times, and the usual sort of anticipated slippage each year is going to result in the reprofiling of the capital programme. So all those areas will be delivered in 26-27 now. Towards the back of the report, there's a summary of the Treasury holdings position as at 31st of January. Again, these remain very consistent throughout the year and year on year. And again, we're in a favourable position in terms of the returns being above budget for the year. Thank you, Chair. I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much, John. Any questions from outside of Cabinet, please, on that? Or inside Cabinet, or comments, or anything? If not, is there a proposer for the recommendations here? Yes, Councillor Hawkins, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hayward. All those in favour, please. None against, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you, John. We now go to agenda item 14, local government reorganisation, the consultation response. And this is presented by Andy Wood, our Director of Place. Again, Andy, please.
Thank you, Chair. So Cabinet has received a series of reports in relation to local government reorganisation that culminated in November last year in the Council confirming support for the 451 proposals in terms of the different model of how we can transition to a single tier of unitary government going forward. That was one of 5 proposals that were submitted in total across the county. The government is now consulting on those through to the 26th of March. The report seeks a delegation to the Chief Executive and consultation with the Deputy Leader in order to complete the consultation response, and that will be done both in conjunction with the other Devon districts and in line with the Council's resolved position.
Thank you very much, Andy. Anybody? Yes, Councillor Barlow, please.
Just a question that I'm being asked constantly by residents in Sidmouth. Is this going to happen? Probably not the right time to ask it, but at the end of the day, everyone keeps asking me and I don't know the answer.
Well, sorry.
No, you should. You should.
Well, I think you're asking the wrong people in the wrong place, Councillor Barlow. This rests with the government and particularly with the Secretary of State, and we have to assume that this will motor on. We have to assume that the indicative timetable that we've been given is the one we have to meet, and we are acting accordingly. So everything this council does is done in order to try and meet the timetable that the government has set out. Obviously, if anything changes along the way, we will no doubt be the last to know.
Thank you.
Good question, though, Ian. Thank you. Anybody inside Cabinet wish to make any comments on this? Councillor Loudon, please.
Well, first of all, thank Andy for the report. Secondly, I would propose it. And just allied to this, just to report to colleagues that last night, Andy and Tracy and I had what I think was a successful online briefing with our towns and parishes. We had just under 30 colleagues from the towns and parishes present, where we went through and explained to them the process that is currently underway, i.e. the consultation, reminded them of the key elements of the bid, drew their attention to the other 4 bids that are out there, and there were a range of questions and engagement, and I thought it was another positive engagement with our towns and parishes. And I know that officers behind the scenes are looking at how we develop our broader engagement strategy with them, and very much see what we have been doing around not just LGR but other ways of briefing as a bit of a model. And apologies for Councillor Jackson for riffing there. I wasn't intending to.
Thank you. Proposing, Councillor Loudon?
I did, Chair.
Thank you for reminding me. I was listening. Councillor Hookway?
Yes, but just a comment really following on from Councillor Barlow's question. I'm not being sarcastic when I say this, but I'm really interested to hear that you're getting lots of questions about LGR from your constituents, because I'm not. And I really do think that the vast majority of residents in East Devon are not aware of what is going to happen and how it might affect them. And I just pose the question, should we be doing something about that? We go on the website, we see that the consultation is open there, people are directed to it. How are they responding? Are we getting a good response from residents? Do we think we ought to be giving residents a social media campaign to say, look, this is important because? Thank you, Chair.
just to be clear, this consultation is not being run by us. It's being run by MHCLG. And short of going out there and knocking on doors and trying to help people fill out the questionnaire, which might get me into trouble with one of the emerging parties, then I think we have been trying to get the message out there. I think part of the problem, if I may say, is this is probably a fairly unsexy sort of thing that for the public, because as long as they end up having their bins emptied, their streets swept, their council tax sent to them, or they probably don't want that, the council tax bill sent to them, then I no disrespect to the public, but I think from their perspective, as long as that's done, that's the interest that they have, and I genuinely understand that. So I was slightly surprised to hear what Councillor Barlow said, because I'd say I don't get it. I don't get the conversation in the pub or anything, frankly, and I've had to now to resort to writing in the parish newsletter to remind people things are happening.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. So we've had a proposal from Councillor Loudon. Anybody like to second that? Councillor Jackson, appropriately our democracy portfolio holder, thank you very much. Can we all go to the vote in that? All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you, Andy. We come back to Emma again for agenda item 16, supported accommodation. Oh, we've done that. We've done that. It's part, yes, that's part B, so we need to crash into that. So over to Councillor Loudon as Vice Chair to propose us going into the next section.
Thank you, Chair. So as Vice Chair, can I now invite members to vote? Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. So as Vice Chair, I move the following, that under section 100A(4) of the Local Government Act 1972, the public, including the press, be excluded from the meeting as exempt information of the description set out on the agenda is likely to be disclosed, and on balance, the public interest is in discussing this item in private session, in other words, part B. So I move. Is there a seconder? Councillor Hayward, thank you. I put it now to the vote of Cabinet. Those in favour? Thank you, that's unanimous. Chair, back to you.